Mighty Radio.
Hello there and welcome to this brand new edition of 5 Round MMA. The gang is back together. All three of us are here. After last week missing Guillermo, my name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me, my co-host Guillermo Cita, Albert Cita. This post-Super Bowl edition of 5 Round MMA should be a little more exciting now. No, the Super Bowl is over. We ended last week's show kind of early, so we go run to the Super Bowl. Just thoughts on the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning.
Who cares? MLS is coming up, man.
Peyton Manning riding off the sunset with the
thanks
with
to
the
Peyton Manning,
Budweiser in right hand.
Me and Guillermo got paid.
Yeah.
So that's
Hey,
good.
you gotta keep that on the look.
Oh, sorry. But it's a good thing that he's wearing that Galaxy jersey because I think next year I'm gonna jump ships. I'm go with LAFC, so I'm not gonna.
What?
I'm leaving Galaxy. I think I'm gonna jump with the Rams because Jerry Jones is just pissing me off with the Dallas Cowboys. I might just go with the Rams and go with LAFC.
And then go from Lakers to the Clippers or what?
No, it's still the Lakers. Still the Lakers.
Oh, okay. Well, this week's show, we're going to a lot to talk about. Nothing so much inside the octagon or the cage, more outside news.
You mean outside the cage?
Outside the cage. Talking about CM Punk, Jon Jones, Dominic Cruz, and Cruz Faber going back at it. And talking about Michael Chandler signing an extension with Bellator. And actually look ahead to Bellator 149, the circus show that will be that. So, round number one, guys. Let's get started. CM Punk undergoes back surgery, further delaying his UFC debut.
Damn you, right back.
Right back did it. Further delaying his UFC debut. He says necessary has been bugging him since his wrestling days. That's something that Cain Velasquez had, and I think he missed like 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. But it further pushed back his UFC debut. Coincidence, bad timing that he gets an opponent, and then like 4 days later he's undergoing back surgery. Caramel?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing?
I mean, I don't know. I was reading a lot of trash talk.
A lot of hate going to CM Punk.
CM Punk, especially for Matt Brown. But CM Punk is doing the wrestling thing. I mean, like, Mickey Gale? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Or Gallo or something.
Irrelevant if CM Punk doesn't go up to the cage, do a face-off with them. Now he's the most relevant guy in the UFC because, but now he's a household name now, especially amongst the MMA community. He was a nobody before this. Yep. So I think now, even prolonging the 4 to 6 weeks, I understand that, people are a little upset, but CM Punk had to go through all this, announcing the fight, doing the face-off, getting people excited for a fight before he said, hey, I wasn't going to fight. So I think to me, they knew behind the scenes ahead of time.
Yeah.
It's like, just drag it out. That way we can get Mickey Gale name out there.
There's people saying like this is more of a publicity stunt. I really do think that CM Punk and the Fertitas and Dana White are working a lot closer than we see they are. Like
Thank you.
That's perfect scenario there. You know what? Hey guys, I'm hurt. No, let's just go through this. This show is airing on the Fight Pass. He's gonna fight there. Let's just go through the motion and then we'll announce it. Because Dana White's not being critical of him at all. I mean, how many times have you seen it? Like obviously, Cain Velasquez is hurt. He's a world class fighter. Dana White's all over his back. This guy,
he wasn't over his back. I haven't heard no criticism from Dana White towards Cain Velasquez.
At least to that.
But
prior to
you are correct.
Of his camp.
If it's somebody that Dana White's not too in favor with, you hear the criticism right away. There has been no criticism towards CM Punk.
So anytime somebody pulls out from a fight, this guy's running. But
the only thing I'm gonna say, if it's not a work, if it's not a work,
it's a work.
The good thing about CM Punk is some of these fighters that retire or quit because of injuries, it's because they can't afford it anymore. The whole training camp stuff like that. I think CM Punk has the luxury to not worry about finances. So he's 37. So I really think that the thing he has going for him is he doesn't have to depend on this fight game to survive. So in all honesty, I think he's still gonna fight. It does seem fishy how when the announcement comes, especially when you hear different articles saying that maybe he knew way before that, and he even admitted that it's been a constant problem. So I don't know why he didn't take care of it sooner rather than
before
later.
He even started training.
Yeah, exactly.
The funny thing is, Albert's a little bit hesitant because I threw him off, man. He didn't know this curveball was coming that was going to defend CM Punk. People don't know behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, we were bashing CM Punk, and I was just playing along with the show here, and now I threw him off with the curveball.
And then go to your income issues for CM Punk. I mean, if he does, just go to any wrestling convention for a weekend and get paid. So, but I do think that he is working very closely with the Fertitas and Dana White and the brass at UFC, because this is something like any other guy would have been like completely just thrown through the ringer by Dana White verbally. And we've seen it multiple times. Guys get hurt. Guys got to pull out again. It's always hurt. What's wrong with them? Blah, blah, blah. Guys who don't take a fight as opposed to guys who take a fight on short notice. They're either on Dana White's good side or bad side. But I think it's only hurting him in the public side and the fan side.
It makes him
not
look good.
Yeah, and especially now. So now there's no excuse for him now.
Yeah.
So we've heard through every single injury you had.
Or does he have every excuse in the world when he loses?
Like what?
He has a back injury.
It was fixed.
He had another injury
Was
before
fixed.
that.
Well, they say with that back injury, you never come back the same, according to Matt Brown. So,
and, before I forget too, this kind of helps out CM Punk because Mickey Gall has to wait even longer, and I'm pretty sure.
If anything, it's a benefit to Mickey Gall. He has more time to prepare.
Well, the mental game is a strong one in the MMA. He has to wait longer. He has to extend his training camp. He has to use his resources more now. I don't know. I still think it's an advantage for CM Punk.
No, I got Mickey Gall by knockout.
Yeah, and if you look at it, right at the minute the fight was announced, everybody was favoring Mickey Gall. I mean, like,
it's an MMA fighter.
There's no question CM Punk will have the disadvantage coming in because we haven't seen him. Nobody's seen him. So
yeah, I mean, do you count his hardcore matches? I mean, he was in a couple cage matches, right? Wasn't he?
Was he ever in that Great Khali? What is it called? Where it's like a big wood bamboo.
Oh no, the bamboo match.
Whatever.
Well, I think I did see CM Punk wave around a pretty mean kendo stick, so maybe that's pretty good. I don't know. So that's it for round number 1. Stick around for round number 2. We're talking about Jon Jones and getting in trouble with the law again. So stick around. Time for round number 2. So news broke early last week saying that Jon Jones was cited for 3 traffic violations with driving without a license, driving without insurance, and driving without registration. I think he was sentenced to, might be sentenced to community services, or I think his court was delayed till March.
Yeah, it got delayed.
So, is this a red flag, guys?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I mean, like, he's shrugging. If the UFC doesn't care, I don't care. I mean, like,
of course.
That's kind of
that's what Dana White wants you to do.
And that's what it sounds like. So, I mean, like, I understand that this is another issue because he had a traffic violation.
A major violation. Felony charges almost got brought down this guy.
But, I mean, like, other than that, I mean, like, I want to see why he got pulled over to begin with. Is it because he
was speeding or?
Oh yeah, why originally?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the real question to me. If he didn't have his driver's license, maybe he had to do an emergency or whatever. You know, we don't know why he got pulled over. So if it's not a big deal to Dana White, it's not a big deal to me.
Well, nothing's a big deal to Dana White unless if you put only big deal is if you put extra sponsor on your shorts. That's a big deal.
Well, here's the real thing. I want to see Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier. That's what it really comes down to. I want to see that fight, and it's coming up. It's in April, right?
Yeah.
So forget this little community service. I know it's a big deal.
Forget breaking the law.
But I want to see the fight.
Breaking the law, who cares?
I want to see the fight.
Is this a red flag for Jon Jones? So we be worried like, okay, this guy just doesn't get it.
Yeah, I think it's a huge red flag. Jon Jones tried to brush it off too, saying like, oh, whatever, it's nothing. They're gonna see that I did have it or I don't know whatever. But he did brush it off like it was nothing. Dana White brushed it off like it was nothing. But it's like that snowball effect. You know what I'm saying? If you look back at Mike Tyson, it was the little mistakes he was doing that led up to his biggest mistake, and then finally he ended up losing. And it's a sad tragedy with a lot of fighters that end up like that. You see these little stuff, and then eventually it gets into a big one, and it kind of snowballs away.
Yeah.
The fact is that he's not making responsible choices, right?
Yep.
It seems like the only thing that's making responsible is the way he does his fight camp or how he's fighting. Other than that, he's not doing responsible choices. So I don't know how you can say it's not a big deal or not. Yeah, right now. Yeah. But wait until it leads up to the next big one. The hit and run was pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, too, is like when you're as young as he was, with the success he has, and being one of the baddest men in the planet, I mean, like, he probably feels invincible. So, I mean,
well, of course. He's probably surrounded by yes men, of course. And he has, like, the whole back in the UFC. No, we got you, man. Don't worry about it.
And like Albert said, all it takes is just one incident, and then now you're all downhill. So, but ultimately, I think what's people aren't really talking about it. I mean, like, if you really think about
they're trying to hide it. The MMA media is trying to hide it, trying to bury it. No, we're not trying to bury the lead here. That's what we're here for.
You guys are the only ones that are Jon Bone Jones haters. So
not a hater. No. He's more of a hater than I am.
And that's true. And to get back at it too. The other thing too is I hate when the fighter has a set up excuse. You get me? whether they use it or don't use it, whatever. I hate when there's some kind of, it looks like they have a fallback as far as why the fight didn't go their way. And when it comes to these type of fights where it's like maybe once in a lifetime we're going to get these type of matchups throughout the weight classes, you want to know that DC is the best DC going in, and you want to know that it's the best Jon Jones going in. That way we really know who the best fighter is. I don't like when there's some kind of excuse set up. You know, like it takes CM Punk, for example. He even though, let's say, I would never give an excuse, whatever. You know in the back of your head, he could possibly say something about his back. You know, he was never ready and stuff like that. It's just annoying to me that those setups are there. You know, that's why I like Conor McGregor too. Yeah. He don't say nothing about his injuries.
It's not our fault that we point out how every MMA website is built up, where there's a bunch of interviews and a bunch of small articles just get buried on top of each other. That's why nobody's talking about it, because there's like so much news. Like it's a Jon Jones and also 3 other articles.
The reason it wasn't reported is because they didn't interview Jon Jones.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's how they're all broken down that way. So we're just trying to dig through the good stories here to talk about.
My thing is that if he has so many yes men around him and all these people around him, why can't he just get a driver? I mean, like,
that's what we're talking about off camera too. He makes all that money. One, he can't get a driver. Two, they don't have Uber in New Mexico or what?
There's not like don't they have like a rookie in Great Texas Camp who go driving around like part of initiation?
Look at the NFL. They have the rookies carry their bags, drive them around. Why don't you do the same thing?
There's a couple guys who just go to the Great Texas gyms and hang out. Like, hey, I'll drive you around, man. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it's not a red flag.
I would drive Diego Sanchez around wherever he wanted if he lived nearby.
Hopefully, it's not.
And that offer stands, Diego, if you're ever in the California area.
Hopefully, it's just
grocery store.
Hopefully, it's a minor thing, and then it doesn't lead to anything more about with Jon Jones. So hopefully, that's what it is. So that's it for round number 2. Round number 3, we're going to talk some about the smash talk between Cruz and Faber. It's getting platonic, not platonic levels, infernal levels, or hot. It's getting hot, whatever. All right, later. Round 2 over. All right, time for round number 3. I think I might exit for round number 2. Was a little tongue-tied. So round number 3, we're going to talk about the smack talk between Cruz and Faber getting back up to, 07, 06 levels?
Yeah.
Back. Kind of started with the interview that Dominic Cruz had, saying that, I'll give Faber a title shot. Why not? I mean, I'll give it as a gift for him. He said one of the quotes was, let me try and find it, that basically Faber has been gifted all of his title shots, and that he has nothing left but me, saying Dominic Cruz. All he has is my, just me as a motivation, I guess. So he'll go ahead and give it to him. So just thoughts on that. And do you want to see Cruz versus Faber one more time?
What other fight is there besides TJ Dillashaw versus Dominic Cruz? I mean, like, this is a problem with this weight class. I mean, like, there's no rising. Well, he has that, but I mean, like, Uriah Faber has bounced around way too much in different weight classes, and especially in this weight class, he's pretty much cleared the division. Besides facing TJ Dillashaw and trying to avenge his only loss his original loss to Dominic Cruz. So I think that's the only fight that is there besides the TJ Dillashaw. So I want to see it.
Yeah, so this interview happened with MMA Junkie. He told, I like the Faber matchup because we were supposed to fight, but it didn't go off because of my knee injury, so I feel like that couldn't happen. It's been 10 years of building with this guy, and I'm just kind of like, I want to shut him down and keep him out of the division after this. He really isn't the most relevant guy in the world, but he still does a pretty good fight. He brings some good things to the table. He's still got championship mindset. I think it's just another fight for Faber. He's been gifted his whole career with title shots, but oh well, screw it. I'm all he's got left, so I might as well give him one more.
Well, technically, he has TJ Dillashaw left as well, because that's still a pretty good matchup. But I think the big cloud here is the fact that when they first fight, Uriah won by a finish. Mm-hmm. The second fight went to decision, and even though I do think Dominic Cruz won that fight, it was a very close fight. Yeah. It wasn't like Dominic Cruz blew Uriah Faber out of the water. I mean, when it comes to Renan Barão, there's no argument you can make that Renan Barão isn't better than Uriah Faber. Renan Barão didn't get the best of Uriah Faber. I mean, that one's a clear-cut winner. But with Dominic Cruz, the fact that they went to a decision in a close fight the last time, and the fact that he stopped them the one previous to that I mean, it's hard not to throw Uriah Faber's name out there when talking about Dominic Cruz.
Here's the real problem. This fight is 5-6 years too late.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to build fire from things that we already forgot about, don't really care about. I mean, this isn't the Uriah Faber in his prime when you guys all you guys talked about was Uriah Faber at that time.
Yeah. So
I think the timing is wrong. I mean, like they're trying to keep us interested, which is good. But I mean, like, we're not seeing the best Uriah Faber. We're not seeing the best Dominic Cruz.
Well, yeah, he's got back.
The problem with Dominic Cruz is all his injuries. So it's not the best Dominic Cruz. I can promise you that, because after injuries, especially torn ACLs, you're never the same.
Yeah. So about a day later, Faber responded to the article on his Instagram account saying, "I keep hearing articles about me. Apparently, Dominic Cruz thinks something has been gifted in my life. I've had double the amount of fights that dude has in around the same amount of years. I have more than 5 finishes, and he has total 5 fights. I've been a champion and top contender for the last 13 years. Last time we fought, I put an MR, hard to hit on his multiple butt, and the reason he's alive is because there are rules in MMA, and I was forced to let him live." So
I think something about that first fight.
Yeah, so no love loss at all between them. You think, can this smack talk lead to a title shot? Like, completely leave TJ Dillashaw out? It's Faber's doing the right thing, right? He's engaging with them. That's what you need to do, right?
And this has everything to do with Dominic Cruz's point that everything's been gifted to Uriah Faber because they had this heated debate. It's funny how such a close fight between TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz, and I would actually want to see that fight over Uriah Faber versus Dominic Cruz, and we're gonna not see it, but because this guy knows how to put his 2 cents in there.
It's not fake either. These dudes really don't like each other.
And I agree with that. And the way that he's able to put himself into title fight, it's amazing.
You also gotta respect Cruz though for going out the whole camp. Though. Yeah, so I'm gonna go the whole FML camp. I'm gonna go one by one.
But at the same time, it's not like Uriah Faber's just talking his way into the matchup. I mean, he is winning. Yeah. He lost to Frankie Edgar, but that was a different weight class. Yeah. But at the same time, too, I mean, the only other fight is really Renan Barão.
Yeah.
Well, Santos, I think, has to reestablish himself again.
Renan Barão's got the 145, isn't he?
And that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. So what else is there? You have to put the Uriah Faber together if you're not going to do the TJ Dillashaw rematch.
Close them out. Have those back-to-back fights for TJ Dillashaw. Have him officially close out the alpha male camp.
I know. And the other
send him all to Dwayne Ludwig.
The other negative thing about Renan Barão, he has 2 losses against TJ Dillashaw, which TJ Dillashaw was lost closely to Dominic Cruz. So to me, that fight doesn't make any sense unless Renan Barão goes on a run.
Because the only option here is Uriah Faber.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. I think either one that's going to be a good fight, Cruz versus Dillashaw or Cruz versus Faber. So that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Bellator. Bellator's making our show, guys. Bellator makes it on our show about what?
Once a month?
Once a month, maybe? Once a month?
Yeah.
Well, we got 2 rounds of Bellator, so stick around, everybody. Everyone, keep up to date with us on social media. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Podomatic, and iTunes pages. Thanks for sticking around. Time for round number 4. Michael Chandler signs a long-term extension with Bellator MMA. Pretty much, I think he's pretty much Bellator for life now, right, guys? There was never any doubt that he would. Was there ever? Did you guys inkling he ever would go to UFC?
According to Albert, at some point he deserved to go to the UFC.
Well, deserved
just to see where he stood.
Yeah, but I mean, like, given all his losses in Bellator, I don't think we'll ever see him. I think to me, this is his final big contract.
Yeah.
And he'll probably end his career in Bellator because after this, given the amount of fights, his age, I don't think Dana White will see him as a top prospect coming in.
29 years old. All that was released was a multi-year, multi-fight contract extension. The final terms were not disclosed, but Michael Chandler is synonymous with, in a press release, Michael Chandler is synonymous with our brand and doubles as an incredibly talented and excited mixed martial artist. Not every fighter or free agent aligns with our future plan, but we're looking at Chandler's resume. Inking him to a long-term extension was a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
Scott Coker.
I'm pretty sure this is his last run that he's gonna do. He still has another championship fight, I think, just because even though Will Brooks won by TKO.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a weird TKO. The fact the way it ended, and the fact that the first fight was a split decision. I think there's still another fight from there. At the same time, the other thing is he's already on a 2-fight win streak, and if you think about it, he pretty much can beat everybody in that division. He just has to get over Will Brooks, and I do think there's an argument to be made that he could fight Will Brooks again despite getting that TKO loss last, because it was such an awkward moment of how it happened, or whatever, and the fact that they went split decision on the one previous.
Well, I mean, Garrett, this could kind of see how, like, obviously Benson Henderson had to influence his decision, right? And this signing with Bellator.
No,
Benson Henderson's going down.
that has nothing to do with it.
He called out.
He called out because that is the moneymaker right now in Bellator, but that has I don't think that has nothing to do.
But also,
what really had something to do with is that UFC was not interested at all. Let's be honest with that. If UFC was calling, I bet you right away he goes. The biggest mistake Michael Chandler had in his whole career was that loss to Eddie Alvarez, because we've seen what Eddie Alvarez can do in the UFC, and if he wasn't able to beat Eddie Alvarez there, he doesn't deserve to be in the UFC.
You don't think maybe like the fact that he's sponsored by Monster and can have like more sponsorships, potential for more buyouts?
If I go to any random person out there that watches somewhat a little bit of UFC and I tell him who Michael Chandler is, nobody will tell me who he is.
No one knows who he is. The guy from Bellator.
This guy, nobody in this planet besides hardcore MMA fans know who Michael Chandler is. And I hate to say I like Michael Chandler live, so don't think I'm a hater.
Yeah.
But no one knows who Michael Chandler is, and the reason why is because he's always been in Bellator. And right now, he has the benefit that Benson Henderson jumped ship.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. So it's to his benefit.
So basically, he has to kind of sit back and wait now, like for maybe like a Nate Diaz or those guys that come over. Yeah. So he had the big time matches.
Yeah.
Right? There's always so many times you can fight the guys that Bellator gives you.
It could be a foreshadowing that Michael Chandler sat down with Scott Coker and Suggs. Look, we're looking at these people. These people are getting their contracts about to expire.
Yeah.
Hold on, Benson Henderson. Like he said, Benson Henderson was just the tip of the iceberg. That means he's probably going to try to get more depth in that roster. We don't know whose contracts are coming up. We don't know how the contract situation's in UFC. He can steal a lot of talent in Michael Chandler. And then Guillermo's over here pouting and stuff about Eddie Alvarez. Hello, Eddie Alvarez is in a win streak, bro. He is close to a title shot. So I don't know why you're trying to clown on Michael Chandler and Eddie Alvarez. And just to let you know, he has a win over Eddie Alvarez. So don't be trying to put him down, bro.
But it's interesting. But
here's my thing: is that Michael Chandler, if you're really that high of a prospect,
he is,
and that we want to retain you, we want to retain you because you are the future of Bellator, and we're waiting for these washed up UFC fighters to come over. Let's
win streak as well.
Let's put it to real perspective. If you really want to go into the Lions Den, let's do it like Eddie Alvarez did. Let's throw you into the Lions Den. At a prime Anthony Showtime Pettis. At a prime Nagaminov. Freaking who's the champion? Dos Anjos. Not washed up Nate Diaz. What does that prove?
Gray men don't like going to Bellator? Frankie Edgar going to Bellator?
Josh Koscheck coming over, Umber? Get out of here, man.
Yeah, and I agree with you with those people, but you can't. Benson Henderson was on win streak in a weight class he didn't belong.
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
Didn't I say that Benson? The only reason that Michael Chandler's benefiting is because Benson Henderson came over.
But again, Scott Cruz said this is the tip of the iceberg. You don't know who else he's bringing in, and you're complaining over here by Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz has been in the top 5 for how long?
Dude, I love Nate Diaz. You hate Nate Diaz.
Yeah, and I'm the one saying that how is it a bad thing if he shows up to Bellator?
So basically, it pretty much now looks like Michael Chandler his whole career with Bellator and not even step foot in the UFC. Yeah. Could he be the Sting of MMA?
His last match, he'll go over to
the UFC. So that's it for round number 4. We got one more round coming up. We're going to stick with Bellator here and talk about UFC
Another curveball.
Bellator 149.
We're on a strikeout.
Bellator 149.
Strike 2.
Shamrock versus Gracie. Kimbo versus Dada 5000. And then the freak show that should be that. So stick around, guys. It's time for the 5th and final round. February 19th will be the date where Bellator 149 takes place. The main event for that card is Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie. And Bellator, if you guys watch Bellator, they kind of go to the small arenas. They do like casino hall, casinos. But this is at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, where I believe the Houston Rockets play, right?
Correct. That is correct.
So I don't know if I haven't got the ticket numbers on that to sell out, but they're anticipating a pretty big crowd to watch.
Should be around 20,000 to 30,000 people.
God, to watch Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie and Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000 and then Mount News.
The Heel Harris, say it right, man.
The Heel Harris Dada 5000. So I'm asking a question. You guys be watching February 19th on Spike TV?
It's a Spike TV. Yes, I am. If it was pay-per-view, no. But yeah, it's funny because I'm excited to see Royce Gracie. I don't care what anybody says. I told you guys before. if this is no title implications or nothing, these are fights I really wanted to see.
Yeah.
It's when me and Albert first started watching pay-per-views, our first pay-per-view that we've ever ordered was Royce Gracie versus Matt Hughes. So, I mean, I'm excited.
That was a kind of a freak show, too, looking back at it, right? Not as bad, but it was a kind of freak show.
Yeah, he was still old in age. He was coming back because no one could be Matt Hughes. And, you know, we paid to see that.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago, so he's 49 now. That was 39 years. He was 39 years old fighting Matt Hughes. So.
And I've always said it, I don't mind having a senior league. I really don't. All right, they should do a 50-over league. Look, throw Mark Coleman into this mix, too.
Coleman.
Tell me, stuff doesn't start getting interesting. Winner out of fear fights Mark Coleman for the belt, the first ever senior belt. Come on now. There's still old matchups that I don't mind watching at all. I mean, even put in the famous Japanese fighter, what's his name? Where's Orange?
I don't know.
Anyways, am I going to watch it? Yes.
Yes.
Am I excited? Yes. Is it a freak show? Yes. Does it matter who wins? Not really. But I want to watch it.
So it's always kind of like Bellator. They also have the they're kind of smart and they'll kind of stack this card with like people want to see, but they also kind of a couple like upcoming fighters on here.
Well,
right?
the thing is that they're working within the realm of their roster. Yeah, I mean, like if you have the opportunity to see these guys or to have this roster, they're taking advantage to the full extent.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't have these young and up. I mean, they do, but they don't have like these name guys in their prime like the UFC has. They have these aging stars, and people want to see these fantasy matchups.
Yeah,
you know, everybody plays fantasy sports. So you know. That's the way they're approaching this. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And then why not highlight some of your rising talent down beneath in the card?
They're not highlighting anybody. They got a guy. They're not highlighting anybody. They got a guy that's 1-5, fighting in the prelims. They got a couple guys that are their first fight ever or first win.
This
is guys
from
9-7, 3-3, 10-7, 6-4. I'm saying. That's what sucks too, because they could take advantage. Yeah, they have a couple guys in here that are 2-0, 1-0. That's gonna be in the prelims, but it's only literally like 3 people.
So this is basically tune in and watch this freak show.
Well,
right?
Hey, Bellator has to pay the bills too. So I mean, like if people are tuning in to watch this, I think that's a win-win for Bellator.
But they could have capitalized on the moment. Yeah, you know people are gonna be watching. You could have put some real heavy rising stars in there.
But, I mean, you got Dada, who's last fought in 2011. He's 2-0. But you got Kimbo Slice, who I think last fought with Ken Shamrock, right? That was earlier last year, so mid last year. So, I mean, like you said, we're going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. It's Friday night. What are you going to
do? The streets are going to watch it. This $500 and Kimbo Slice's been going on for like 10 years almost.
So I think it should be it. I think it also...
They should have fought in a backyard somewhere a long time ago. Now it's going down in an official cage.
Yeah, I think that's it for Bellator 140. Now, also, we wouldn't be an MMA show if we didn't mention the passing of Kevin Randleman.
Who...
I think you can what that guy did.
It's crazy because like he's like one of the main reasons I watch UFC just because just the way he looked. I didn't even know his record or whatever. I mean, we were going back to the wrestling thing. When you see someone that huge, that big, like and I think his hair was bleached. You know, you're kind of drawn to that. So he visually I think him and Bob Sapp, I used to be like, whoa, dude, these guys are monsters or whatever. Despite the record, despite
because honestly, all those guys back then, like other than Boss Rutan, none of their records are all kind of 500, sub 500, but it's what they did to entice people to bring it to watch it. So I mean,
and he's up there with
the thing I liked is the clip I saw of him going backstage to Rampage and telling them, "Hey, if there's only one person in this planet that I could lose to, it'd be you." And that's when Rampage was up and rising.
Yeah, so I mean, I never heard a bad thing about Kevin Randleman, especially from his peers. So it's just a shame, and thoughts and prayers to his family. But
40 years old.
Yeah, around 44. Yeah,
44.
It's insane. All right, so that's it for this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. You can also check our podcast at FightBookMMA.com. Under the podcast page, that's FightBookMMA.com. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors. First, with Rocky and Green eco-friendly cleaner products, 5 Rounds clothing line, get it on, and of course, Redemption Martial Arts, the RMA Foundation.
Don't
rise up against bullying.
Don't do that.
I like his concentration.
What do you got?
Thanks everybody for listening.
I saw everything you guys are doing.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
YT Radio.